When you like your own company, you stop chasing people who treat you like an option.
Curious butterflies.
Today I wanted to discuss how I learnt to love being alone. Love being by myself nowadays, and a couple of years ago maybe I wouldn't have said that. To some people you might be like, oh, who cares, like, I love being by myself. That's great for you, that is awesome. You can do your errands and you can be independent boss woman if that's what you want to be. But for some people it's also really hard to be okay with being alone. So this video is for you guys, okay? If you're scared to be alone, if you're unsure what's going on in your life but all you know is that you are alone, then this video is for you, okay? Because this is our safe space. So come chill. I'm laying in bed today because I haven't been feeling the best this week. Guys, I have another cute mug for you. It's got a greyhound on it, which I've got an Italian greyhound, my little baby. It's so freaking cute. To start off, I want to say I was pretty much always the third wheel in any type of friendship group, okay? And if I ever spoke up about how I felt, if I felt third wheeled, if I felt a bit left out, if I spoke up about it, I would usually be shut down and be told that they have to walk on eggshells around me and all kinds of things. So after some time, I kind of accepted that, and that feeling for my whole life, even though that rejected feeling does make you feel crappy, sometimes those other people don't mean it intentionally. It just happens, and they can't really do anything about it, but it still sucks. It hurts. It hurt me. Despite feeling like the odd one sometimes in some groups, I always stuck around, okay? Because what else was I supposed to do? At the time, I just needed things to be easy. And at that time in my life, the easiest thing that I thought was and felt for me was to be a people pleaser, overcompensate, and just stick around people who didn't make me feel good, which is kind of sad to think about now. And don't get me wrong, I've always been super independent my whole life. Like, you can ask my parents, my family, they all know I've been the independent child. But I've always loved being around people as well. Like, I don't mind it, like, especially in school and social events. I always loved being around people, even if it was just one person one-on-one or if it was a bigger group, okay? I always loved being around people. But especially in school, even if I knew that the friendship group or the situation wasn't right for me, I would still stick around. I would stay, because I'd rather force myself to be around someone and feel nervous and unsure if I wanted there than sit alone in the bathroom stall by myself. On weekends or, after school, I'd dislike being alone. I'd want to be around people because I'd spent all day around people and I wanted to continue the social vibes, At that time, I felt like I always had to be doing something, or I had to constantly be talking to someone or hanging out with someone. And it would even get to the point where sometimes I would text people who I didn't even really like that much just because it gave me something to do or, someone to talk to. But being alone now feels so peaceful, and I want that for you too. So keep watching this video, okay? I never really intentionally decided one day I got out of bed and was like, I'm going to be a loner this week. Like, no. It was kind of more of a gradual thing. Over time, I noticed that I'd make plans with people, I'd hang out with people, and when we'd hang out, I'd feel disconnected. And over time, I kind of felt like I would stop reaching out to people. I would stop telling people things that were going on in my life. I would stop going to people for advice, and instead I would go into my phone voice memo app and I would rant and ramble into that app, and it was super helpful. That was kind of like my diary entry, my comforter, like, within myself. I started trying to figure out things on my own before going to a friend or to anyone else. And I think that over time, doing this with myself over and over again, I gained a lot of trust within myself. I backed my own choices. I didn't need to go to anyone for any advice. I relied on me for everything and anything, good, bad, everything. As I hung out by myself a lot more, I kind of realized that my standards had increased because I wasn't really scared of losing anyone anymore. I knew that I had me, and that's all that I needed. And I'm not gonna lie, alone time became something that I craved rather than what I might have once feared. Like, sometimes you'd feel a little bit scared to be by yourself, but no, that wasn't the case for me. Over time, I craved it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to have some alone time. Like, I need it right now. I've definitely become way more grounded because of this whole journey and little experience that I went through, and I kind of realize when you like your own company, you stop chasing people who treat you like an option, and it feels really good. So here's my advice if you're scared to be alone, okay? First of all, do not be scared. It's okay to be scared. It's our natural human instinct to want to be surrounded by people. For some people it is. For some people, they like to be surrounded by people. For other humans, they would prefer to be an introvert, and that's perfectly fine. But if you're someone who's scared, it is normal and it's healthy, and it's okay if you are naturally someone who likes to be around people. It does not mean that you're stupid or you're boring or you're lonely or you're unlovable, okay? Get that out of your head. Maybe there's a period coming up in your life where you feel like you have no other choice but to be alone. You're going through something in your life where it's moving out, having a breakup, going through a friendship situation, losing a job, or anything. It can feel raw, it can feel isolating, it can feel sad and scary, and you're probably feeling like you've lost a little bit of your identity even. But we're gonna reframe this alone time, because it's not something that should be surrounded with negative emotions and thoughts and feelings. it can be looked at from a positive lens, I promise. First of all, this may just be a season of getting to know who you are as a person, what you want for yourself, and who you want in your life, because sometimes you do have to distance yourself from people or situations in order to get to know yourself better and to grow as a person. And at first, it might feel really fucking hard, but over some time, you will gain a real sense of clarity. And this could be months, years, weeks, you never know. Don't go into this period thinking, I'm gonna be, distancing myself for 2 weeks and then after that, no. Just when it feels right, if you feel like you need to go through a period of being alone because something's happened or you just want to, because why not? That is okay. Do not put a time frame or limit yourself to having your shit together within a certain time, because realistically, none of us have our shit together. Like, let's be so real. You can't put time limits on anything. Don't mind me. And to be honest, I'm still in my season. I have been for quite some time now. Okay. I'm probably overdue to come out of the season. I'm not gonna lie. I'm quite comfortable in this space. Actually, speaking of that, I put a thing up on my Instagram asking what kind of videos you guys want to see from me here on YouTube, and someone said, I want vlogs but you're always in your room, so like get out of your room. Yeah. You might be right. I am pretty much always here. But anyways, because of going through this whole phase and season of life where you're just being really independent and growing and learning to get to know yourself and figuring things out, I feel a lot of peace because of it. Because I realized over time that I don't need chaos or any drama or anything to feel fulfilled. If anything, nowadays, if I go too long without my alone time, I will spiral and I miss it so much. I just love having my nighttime tea in bed exactly like this right now, watching a show, editing videos, being with my dog and my family. Like, what is wrong with that? I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And you don't have to feel like you have to cut people off in your life in order to go through this season. Sometimes I feel like you don't have to explain yourself to anyone, but you could just give someone a heads up and be like, hey, I've got some things going on next week, or I'm going through some things at the moment, I'll reach out, blah blah blah, or text me if you need me, kind of thing. You do not have to feel like you have to cut people off. This is not what this is about, okay? It's not about cutting people off unless you feel like that is applicable to your situation. It's about becoming your own home, right? You don't need to fill the silence with noise and feel pressure to do what other people are doing because they've got big friendship groups and they're always out and being social. You don't have to feel that. You don't need to be surrounded to be seen, and your presence is enough within itself. You are more than enough for just existing. And if you're someone who's on this journey of kind of self-discovery, or you just are going through an era, sometimes going from your teens to your 20s and mid-20s to 30s, and even, going from like 11 to 12, like it feels like dramatic, but when you become, a little teen, every era of your life sometimes requires some alone time because we have to grow and get to know ourselves as humans. So if you're on a journey to learning to love your own company, I'm proud of you, because I think it's super helpful, because one day you'll come out of the season or the era or whatever you're going through and you'll be like, I don't need anyone else to fill me up. I can do this all on my own. You don't need your mum or your parents to go with you to the doctors. You can make your own appointments. You can go and run errands by yourself and feel good. You can take yourself on a solo date at a cafe and not feel embarrassed because of it. These little things really help you so much as a person. It's very character building, okay? If you like this video, please give it a big fat thumbs up, okay? It helps my channel so much. And subscribe, because I love having you here very much. And if you want to keep up with me on a daily basis, as usual, go follow my Instagram, my TikTok at islandcarter_, and my Snapchat is islandcarter16. Oh shit, I'm short of breath from there. I love you so much, okay? And don't forget it. Bye. Let me put my tea down. I want to give you a big hug. Can I please give you a big hug? Okay, I'm gonna assume that you said yes. So here's our hug. Yay.